everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my favorite, most loved, most used drugstore products. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I love a good drugstore find because who doesn't want to save money? You know what I'm saying? A lot of high-end products, they're very expensive. And then some of them I try and I'm very disappointed in them. So I usually stick to drugstore products for the most part. Sometimes I do splurge and buy something very, very high-end. Sometimes I'm very happy with it, sometimes I'm not. So I'm gonna go through my top most used drugstore products. If you'd like to see what they are, please keep watching. Also today, my makeup is extreme. I was going for mermaid vibes, okay? It's a little bit of mermaid vibes. Let's start off with my favorite drugstore highlighters. I do have 4 that I use all the time. So first I have the Maybelline. These are the Master Chrome highlighters. So here's a comparison of the two. We have the rose gold over here, which I've hit pan on. I love this highlighter. Also the gold. This one would be better for deeper skin tones. This one is better for like my kind of skin tone. I also like using this when I'm using a lot of pinks in my eye or even my blush as almost like a topper to give it a really nice sheen to it. But both of these are amazing. They feel like silky butter on your skin. I love, love, love these. I also love this guy right here. This is the Mary Luminizer by The Balm. As you can tell, I've hit pan as well. This one comes off. This one is now broken. Well, clearly I have to pick up a new one because this one is now shattered into a million pieces. I didn't have much left to begin with, but I love that highlighter. It's great for somebody with more of like a lighter kind of skin tone because it does come off a little bit more silvery. I'm gonna compare all of them on my hand to show you. And then last but not least, we have this guy right here, which I love. This is the Pixi Delicate Dew. You get 2 sides in here. One is more gold, the other side is more pink. I kind of just mix them together. Sometimes I will pull just one or the other, but usually I mix them together. It creates a very soft, beautiful glow. Right here we have the Maybelline. This is the gold shade. Then we have the Maybelline Rose Gold. And then right here on the end, we have the Balm Mary Luminizer. And then these two guys at the lower part of my wrist is the Pixi Duo. So you can kind of tell the difference. So again, these have a little bit more color, the Pixi, but they're all really beautiful highlights, as you can tell. Okay, so let's talk some drugstore eye makeup palettes. I do try out lots of eyeshadows. To be honest with you, sometimes when you do spend a little bit more on eyeshadow, it's worth it, but then sometimes there's times where you spend a little bit more and it's not worth it. So 3 eyeshadow palettes that I think are really worth the money at the drugstore because I use them all the time and I think they're really good. The first eyeshadow palette that I think is amazing is the Rimmel magnif'eyes Crimson Edition. I really like this guy. I created a really pretty pink look, which I'm going to be posting using this palette. But the colors in here are very, very pigmented and it's a really nice look if you're trying to do something very soft on the eye, something warm, without looking like you have an eye infection, if you know what I mean. So this one's a great one if you're looking for more of like a warm palette with more pinks. Very, very good. Then we have this guy, which came out I think last year. I'm pretty sure they still sell it, so if you can find it, I would buy this. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted palette. This is more of a neutral palette. It does include shimmers, it does include mattes, but it's very, very neutral. You can just give your eye this like beautiful wash of color with a little bit of sheen. These colors blend out seamlessly. They're very, very pigmented. As you can see, I've hit pan on a couple of shades, but I do highly recommend this palette. I think it's excellent. And then I have a palette from Maybelline, which is a new release and it's phenomenal. I love it. So if you're trying to create that foxy, smoky kind of cat eye, this palette, this is all you need to create it. So here we have a really, really beautiful neutral palette that has some mattes, that also has some shimmers, has some warm tones, has some cool tones. You can really create a beautiful eye with this. And again, very, very pigmented, easy to blend out. So these 3 palettes are really, really great. I highly suggest all 3 of them. I have 2 drugstore bronzers that I use quite often. I do like to use my Benefit Hoola. That one is a really great bronzer, but if I'm not using Benefit Hoola or the Nude by Nature is kind of considered drugstore, but I didn't include it in this because it's kind of pricey. It's around $40 almost at the drugstore. These 2 bronzers right here are definitely amazing. They're affordable. I like the Physicians Formula one a little bit better. I'll tell you why. First of all, the smell, it just gets you. It just feels like a tropical vacation, and it's just like buttery silkiness on your skin. You can buy this in multiple shades. They do have like deep now, which is really great. They have a medium shade. This is just the original. It smells like freaking amazing suntan tropical lotion, but it blends on the face really beautifully, gives you a bronze color, very, very smooth, and I like how there's no glitter in here. Also, we have the Rimmel bronzers, which are excellent. These guys are a little bit cheap though when it comes to packaging. I find the lid always breaks, but they come in like, I think 9 shades, something crazy. You can go deeper, lighter, shimmer, no shimmer. The one I reach for the most though would be number 22, Sun Bronze. Also, this is supposed to be waterproof, so I don't really know. It's supposed to be a 10-hour wear, but it is a really great bronzer if you're on a budget. Excellent as well. It doesn't pull orange on the face. When it comes to setting powders, I have 2 drugstore ones that I use a lot. So the first one is the Coty Airspun powder. Now, if you live in Canada, this one is really, really hard to find, and you can find it on eBay for like a crazy price. Do not buy it. It's not worth like $40 to get here. Honestly, it's not. So this is just a regular loose face powder. Apparently it's the same formula since 1935, which I feel like cannot be that great for you, because isn't there different guidelines now with Health Canada? I don't know. But anyways, it smells like if your grandmother had a powder that was back in the day from 1920. That's what it smells like. But I really like to use this, as you can see. I like to use this underneath my eyes. I just pat it on. I find I sometimes do bake with it. It can be a little bit drying, but I just usually use a fluffy little Real Techniques brush and just pat it on underneath my eyes. But it's a great powder if you can find it in the States. I found this in New York City at one of the drugstores for like, I think it was like $6. So it's a really, really great price. If you can find it for that price, I would buy it. Another great drugstore powder that I stopped using, but I've started using again, and I remembered how great it was, is this guy right here. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. Love this stuff. I have the shade 20 when I'm more tan, and then I use 10 when I'm not so tanned. The only thing I really hate about this is the packaging, because when you get to the end, it's really hard to get the product out because you can't lift this middle piece off. It gives you really nice coverage, smooths out the skin, and it also doesn't settle in my fine line, especially my laugh line right here. So I do highly recommend this powder. I think it's really nice. If you watch my channel, you know my favorite foundation ever. I like it more than Prestige. I like it the best. This is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. I wore the shade 220. I have it on today when I'm tanned. This foundation's amazing. If your combination, it just really smooths out the skin, it blurs the pores, it controls oil, it just gives you a really nice natural finish. It's a medium coverage, you can build on it to make it a little bit more full, but this is my favorite foundation by far. I just wish it came with a pump. I kind of hate pouring it out like this. I know I just saw online that they're releasing like a squeezy bag kind of thing with this, so you just squeeze it out in a bag, which seems amazing. I hope we get that in Canada. So anybody listening from Maybelline Canada, can we change the packaging on this? Please, because if you drop this on the floor, it shatters. I also have 2 Revlon foundations that I've been really liking. One is the Color Stay. I wear the shade 220. This is for combination skin. They also make one for dry, so I use the combo skin. Really great coverage. Can be a little bit drying. Sometimes I like to mix in another foundation with this, but I really like it, and it's very, very long wearing. I also like this guy too. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Candid. I have the shade 240. Again, really, really nice. I feel like this one's a little bit more hydrating than this guy, but they both control my oil, both give me nice coverage, and I really like the way my skin feels and looks. These 2 are more on the more like mattifying side, I would say, but both very, very good. And then I feel like I have to talk about this because I think it is a very good foundation. It doesn't get a lot of hype. This is the Lasting Finish Breathable Foundation from Rimmel. I have the shade 201 Classic Beige. It's a very, very thin texture with a medium coverage and can be buildable, so I like it. It looks very natural on the face. It's not too heavy. It does have a doe foot applicator. I know some people have issues with this because they feel like if you put it directly on the face and you put it back in, that it could create bacteria, which it probably could. So just make sure your face is clean if you're going to apply it this way. If you have any breakouts, I wouldn't apply it directly on the breakout because you will contaminate the brush. But anyways, it's a very good foundation. I think it's excellent and needs more hype. Okay, so for primer, I really like a lot of higher end kind of primers, but CoverGirl makes a good drugstore primer. So I have 2. I have the moisturizing primer and the mattifying primer. They're very, very lightweight. I think I've also tried the Radiance one. I really liked it. I used the whole thing. Very lightweight, kind of smooths out the face, lets your makeup glide on, holds the makeup. So if you're looking for a cheaper drugstore primer, I really do suggest the CoverGirl ones. I think they're excellent. I also forgot about this guy. This guy's amazing. It's the Pixi Vitamin C Brightening Priming Oil. At first, I was terrified of this because I am combination, and I thought I don't want to put an oil on my face during the day. I thought it really could make me super oily. I tried it out, love it. So it goes on, yes, like an oil, but it's almost like a dry oil, and it does dry down. It gives your face a very beautiful sheen, almost like a really nice highlighted effect, but it really just lets your foundation melt into your skin. If you have a really thick foundation as well, try applying this first because it will thin the foundation out. And And another thing I really like about this is if you just pat it into your fine lines, even after you apply your foundation, you can take a little bit more of this, pat it into the fine lines, and it will just kind of soften the whole look of your foundation. It's a very, very good product. It smells like oranges. I love it, love it, love it. It's a little bit expensive for drugstore. It's around, I think, $30, but totally worth it. I think it's amazing. When it comes to concealers, I do love the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. It's like my ride or die. I love it, but I do like some drugstore ones as well that I sometimes mix in with them or use these by itself just depending on what's going on. The first one is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. Kind of reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape. Has a very big doe foot applicator, has really nice coverage on it, blends out really nice and is not too drying. Another concealer from the drugstore that I'm obsessed with that I ran out was the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's honestly a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. It's about $5. It's just amazing. I ran out, I need another one, and they're very, very similar. The brush is the exact same as the CoverGirl, so I really, really like those. I also like this Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage. This one though, I find it can be a little bit drying, so if you do have dry under eyes, I kind of would skip this one, but the coverage on this is excellent. It is full coverage, and I really like the applicator as well. It's kind of precise, so you can get right in this area where you have dark circles. And the one that I use every day mixed with my Too Faced Born This Way is the Revlon Color Stay number 22. Because the Too Faced one's a little more peachy, I like to add a little bit more of a neutralizer just to kind of even everything out. So I have the Too Faced on today mixed with this guy. I just put little lines and it really helps brighten, but this is very, very thin texture, but gives you a really nice coverage. So I highly suggest this guy if you're looking for something excellent. So contour sticks used to be like all the rage back in the day, the rage. Now, do I use a contour stick every single day? Not every single day. Now when I do, here's the ones that I like. So I use this one all the time. This is the Wet n Wild Oaks on You contour stick. The top actually that belongs to this broke, so I just stuck a Joe Fresh cap on here. This is the perfect shade. It is not too warm, not too ashy, blends out like a dream. You don't have to worry about it drying down before you blend it out. It is amazing. It's like butter, it's silky, it's like $5 or $6. You cannot go wrong. If you're looking for just a contour stick too with no highlighting thing, because I don't really use the highlighting portions of them, so if you really want to bang for your dollar, you know, go for just the contour stick from Wet n Wild because it's really good. This is ridiculous. When it comes to a dual-ended kind of highlighting stick, to be honest with you, I don't really use the highlights a lot, but I do like these for contouring. So I have the Rimmel Insta Duo Contour Stick in Light Clear, and then I also have the NYX Light Medium Contour Stick. The Rimmel one is a little bit of a lighter, warmer contour stick, while the NYX one's a little bit deeper with more of like a cool undertone. And then the highlighting stick, I prefer this guy right here from the Rimmel because it is more my skin tone, but it has more of like a highlighting effect rather than the one from NYX. It's more yellow tone, and it almost acts as like a concealer. If you're gonna use this, I would put this on before you do any of your concealer just to kind of brighten, and then put your concealer over top of it. But both of these are great drugstore options if you're looking for a highlighting and contouring stick. Now when it comes to just a single highlighting stick, I really like this one from Revlon. This is the Photo Ready Instafix highlighting stick. I think they changed the packaging on this, but you can still buy it. This is in the shade 200 Pink Light. Really like this. It gives you this like wet, dewy kind of look. You can kind of, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell because I do have a highlighter on today. It's kind of similar to what I have on. It's very, very like wet looking. It's very, very pretty. If you do have a deeper skin tone, they do make a gold one, which would be great for somebody that has a little bit more depth than me. But really, really great. I like using my fingers with it. It looks very natural. It gives you that really nice glossy look. So I highly suggest this guy. I try a lot of mascaras, but my favorite two right now for drugstore would definitely be the L'Oreal Unlimited Mascara, which kind of reminds me of the Lancome Grandiose. And then we have the Essence Lash Princess Waterproof Mascara. Make sure you buy waterproof because it's just, it makes a difference. This one is great for really holding the curl in your lash. Also great for lengthening, also great for separating, and it's only like $5. This one I think at the drugstore is a little bit more pricey. In Canada, you're looking at like $15. I don't know, like drugstore prices are crazy. But I do really like this. It's really great at lengthening and separating, but majorly lengthening. So if you're looking for a lengthening mascara, this one's great. You can also bend the handle. It gives you a little bit easier access to the inner corners of your eyes, but this is a great dupe for the Lancome Grandiose Mascara. I do suggest both of these. I love them. Then we have this mascara, which I love so much. This is the Annabelle Skinny Mascara. This is amazing. It comes with a tiny little brush so you can really get into the bottom lashes. This does not smudge or flake. So if you have a problem with your mascara smudging or flaking underneath your lower lashes, this will be your best friend. I've tried so many underneath my lower lashes that I love using on my top lashes, but this one is just the best for not smudging or flaking and lasting all day. Trust me, it's amazing. Now for my eyebrows, I am a Benefit kind of girl when it comes to my eyebrows. I love the Benefit brow products, but when I do reach for drugstore, here's what I use. So I really like the NYX Micro Fine Pencil, which I ran out of, and the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. Both of them are amazing. They're just straightforward. They're tiny little micro pencils that you can kind of flick in your brow hairs and then brush it through. I love both of those. Also really like these brow gels. This is my favorite brow gel. I like it better than the Benefit one. This is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I have taupe. Taupe's a little bit light for me. I probably would go one deeper, but this is all ran out. But this really gives you that fiber looking brow. It doesn't put like a gel hole to the eyebrow, but just really builds volume on the brow. Benefit was really good at one point, but then when they had to recall everything and reformulate it, they took out that fiber building property to it. It's not as fibrous, you know what I mean? So this one is a great dupe for what the Benefit Gimme Brow used to be, and it's only like $5. And then we have the Annabelle Brow Fiber Gel, which is also great. It does put fibers, not as much as the e.l.f. The e.l.f. one's a little bit more drying. The Annabelle one is a little bit more wet. So if you do like more of like a wet brow gel that gives you a little bit more color and less fiber, check this one out, because this will kind of fill in your eyebrows with some color, give a little fiber, give a little brow hold. So this is also great, but this one's great if you want more color to the brow, and then the e.l.f. one is great if you just want more fiber building and a little bit of hold. Now when it comes to lip liners, I kind of use a mixture of lip liners. High end and low end. I would say my most used lip liners would be the Rimmel twistable ones. I used to love the color East End Snob. I ran out. I love that. It's a perfect pink color. I also really love the NYX lip pencils, especially in the suede line. I like sharpening my lip pencil rather than twisting it. You get way more product in something that you sharpen, number one, so you get more for your money. And number two, I find you get way more of a precise, fine point. So I have all colors of these NYX ones I love. I use Brooklyn Thorne a lot, which is more on the brown side. I have it on my outside of my lips today. And I also use this one a lot too, called Soft Spoken, which is more of like the mauve-y tone, but these are excellent. They last all day and they're very affordable. My top two liquid eyeliners right now from the drugstore are definitely the L'Oreal Matte Signature. I have it in the shade black. I also love this guy right here. It's the Maybelline HyperEasy eyeliner. I have it on today. It's very, very black, but very easy to use. So the L'Oreal one would be great for somebody who does like to apply their eyeliner with this kind of application, but it's a very, very thin point, so you can get a great flick on it. But this is great because it doesn't dry out. So anything in a pot like this that you're dipping into is not going to dry out like a felt tip or a brush tip. So if you don't wear liquid eyeliner a lot and you're sick of buying pens that are drying out on you because you're not using them fast enough, try something in a pot because it will last a lot longer. This guy right here, the Maybelline one, I really like how it's a brush tip and not a felt tip, because the felt tips, they do tend to get a little bit more dry, and the brush tip gives you, I find, a little bit more control of what you're doing. But this micro kind of mini tip on here just lets you create any sort of design, any sort of flick. It's very, very black, it dries instantly. I love this. I love this liner. I've had this for a while and I've used it a lot and it has not dried out yet. I do love a good pencil eyeliner. I use both high-end, I use both drugstore. The best ones at the drugstore, in my opinion, are the Revlon So Fierce vinyl liners. These are amazing. They go on so pigmented, almost like a gel at first with the sheen, but they dry down, they fully dry. So it goes on like a gel, easy to blend out, easy to apply, glides along the eye, but it totally dries. So you can do a straight line, or what you can do is take a brush, because they're so creamy, and kind of do a smudged out wing, which looks really, really pretty. They come in a whole bunch of different shades. I have the brown, black, and then this like rum color one. They're amazing. They're really, really good. Then I have the Pixie ones. Now I like these Pixie Endless Silky eye pens because they're very, very silky, like it says. They glide on just like the Revlon ones, but these ones are great at smudging. So if you really want to do a smudged out eyeliner, kind of sultry look, try using these guys because you can really smudge them out. They stay all day and they're very, very pigmented. Now for my waterline, I always use Marc Jacobs Pink of Me, which I have on right now, but if I'm not using that, I do like to go in with this Revlon Color Stay Micro Hyper Precision Gel Pencil in Nude. I love this. I like how small it is, so you can really get a nice application. And I like the color. It's not too white. It just goes on like a flesh tone, so it's not too stark. I really, really like it, and it stays all day. And if you're looking for a really good, colorful eyeliner, check out Bourjois and what they have to offer because they make really great bright eyeliners. So this one right here, it's the clubbing liner in bleu neon, but it's great if you're just looking for that punch of color. Very creamy again, you can blend them out. You can use them as even an eyeshadow base, but they're really, really nice eyeliners. Okay, so let's talk about some affordable glitter. Sometimes I like to add a little bit of pizzazz to the eye. Stila makes some great liquid shadows, but they're very pricey. They're like $30-ish in Canada. And to be honest with you, if you're not using them every day, they will dry out. I just had one dry out. It was half full and it was completely dried and I was really kind of pissed about it. So here's some great options if you don't want to spend that $30 kind of price tag on a glitter to add to your eye for a special occasion. So the cheapest ones and really good ones are the Essence ones. They're the Metal Shock eyeshadows. I love this shade here. This one is Solar Explosion, the gold. And then we also have this one, which is Stars and Stories. But both are really nice. I find these ones give you a wash of color, almost very, very sophisticated. So you don't have that chunky glitter. You have just more of like a sheen to your eye, which is really, really pretty. I love both of these shades. They dry down really nice. Love them. They're like, I think they're under $10, which is great. Then we have this guy right here, which I love. This is the Balm Sparkling Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Champagne. It's more of like a goldy color. Let's just put it here so we can compare. So this is more like a yellow gold, where the other Essence one was more like a white gold. Really nice sheen to this one, not glittery, not like chunky glittery. If you're looking for one like the Stila one that has a little bit more like a chunky glitter, you'll really like this one right here. This is the Pixie Sunray Liquid Fairy Lights. This one is beautiful. This one's gold, but it has a really nice silver and gold chunky kind of sparkle to it. So it's a little bit more festive, great for the holiday season, but I really like using this as well. I also love these. These are from Essence. These are the Melted Chrome eyeshadows. If you're looking for that kind of textured eyeshadow that's like that in-between hybrid of like a jelly, you know that weird feeling you poke your finger into and your finger indents into the product? This is what this is, but these are freaking phenomenal. They feel like silky butter, but they go on your eye just like heaven. They're amazing. So that shade right there is called Ironic. Then we have this super beautiful orangey brass color right here, which is super pigmented, called Copper Me. And then this guy is one of my favorites. It's called Zinc About You. It's absolutely stunning. It has like this purpley silver, which would look really nice on my eye today actually, but these are really, really great value. I think for Essence, they're on the more pricey side of a single eyeshadow. I think they're about $10. I was surprised when I bought them. If you're looking at these thinking that seems a little expensive for Essence, they're totally worth the money. Whatever technology's in here, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's so good. Okay, this is it. This is the end of my favorite drugstore most used products. I really hope you guys did enjoy it. And just remember, you do not have to spend a lot of money to be fabulous, okay? You can be fabulous on a budget, and don't let anybody tell you different. Okay, that's all I got for you. I really hope you guys did like this video. If you did, as always, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.